It's a new week, it's a new day. Let's own it. You are in control. Of course, you're in control. Take control, own your day. Bash all that negative self talk, bash all that negative thinking, and just do. Just start. Just do a little bit if that's what you can do today. Just begin and all the rest will follow. Hello, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga. This is your yoga from home where you're doing it your way. See the bottom of the screen? It says do what's right for your body. You don't have to perform. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody's saying, oh, he can't do this or she can't do that. This isn't that kind of yoga. This is the yoga you do from home. It's a routine. It's a habit. You're just starting. You're just doing it. And you're doing it your way. If something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. You know your body best. This is a 1 hour long practice. We practice it live every single day, start to finish. No cuts, no takes. It's very real. It's like being in a real class. All week long we do this, 1 hour, same time. You can do it on your own time because you can watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on Facebook. But do it your way. Come back every day because all of our practices are different. You'll find maybe some are a little more challenging, some less so. But you modify it and make it all good for you. Just show up. All right, there's a word to think about today as you practice, and that word is forgive. Forgive. Oh, what a good feeling. Forgiveness. What a good thing to do. It means to cease to feel resentment against something or someone. Maybe that resentment is against you, your neglect of your body. Forgive yourself. You're here, you're making yourself better. All right, another way to make yourself better is with practice partners. Practice partners such as props. All right, here's the deal. Props. 1, 2 yoga blocks. Not very expensive. You can buy them online. You can buy them if you go out today to the store. They're easy to find. 2 yoga blocks, an eye shade, a little strap. If you don't have a strap, get a belt to your robe, dog leash, whatever. A little towel can also double as an eye shade, and you can put it under your knees if your knees are at all uncomfortable. But do have a strap because we are going to use that today. Have some water handy, and let's start. All right, so we're going to come up to standing to begin because I like to do a little warm-up just to get the blood flowing. All right, but as you're coming up to standing, let's take a stress number. And what do I mean by that? Think of the doctor's office, a little smiley face to a frowny face scale. Find that scale. Find where you are on that scale and lock in a number. Give it a number like 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Give it a number and let's begin. All right, so you're standing. You can be near a counter. You can be near a chair. You know, whatever it takes, and just do what feels good. All right, so strike a confident stance. All right, that's what we're going to do first as we, start this new day and, bash all that negative self-talk. Put your hands on your hips. Spread your feet a little wider than hip width distance. Send your chest lifted, shoulders back and down. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. It all begins with your breath, right? Big breath in through the nose and let it go through your mouth. Big breaths. Make that sighing sound when you let it go. All right, let's come on up to the balls of the feet. So you're coming up like tippy toes. Stand it up and then bringing your heels down. Lift and lower. And remember, you could have a chair nearby or something to get your balance. You just want to wake up your foundation, your feet, your calves, your ankles. Build that confidence in knowing that you've got good balance. Balance is so important. We've got a little segment on balancing today. We do balancing just about every day because it's such an important thing to do. So lift and lower. Just start moving every day. And as you move, that is positive mental feelings will follow. As you move your body, it just feels good. You get that endorphin rush, that dopamine rush. Just enjoy. How many times after you've moved, like you've gone for a walk or you've done your yoga, do you ever say to yourself, oh, I just wish I hadn't done that. I feel worse now. No, you don't. You feel good when you move. All right. How are your calves feeling? Come up high onto the balls of your feet and hold it here for a second or two, whatever you can do. Breathe. Hold it up here. Stay high and elevated. And when you're ready, heels come down. Oh, I'm glad for that. Lift the toes up and give them a wiggle. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, let's lift our arms high up to the sky. Lengthen through your fingertips. Look up to the sky. Breathe. This is called your Tadasana, extended mountain pose. Think of your shoulders relaxing a little bit. Lift Interlace your fingers. Send your palms up to the sky, a little palm tree pose. So you're laterally moving your spine, moving it sideways, feeling the big stretch in the side body. Now maybe your arms are straight, or maybe you've got a good bend in your elbows. It doesn't matter what it looks like. What matters is how it feels for you and only you. You're all that matters. Big breath in and big breath out. Remember, it doesn't matter how slow you go. It's just the fact that you're going. Just don't stop. Don't give up. All right, lateral flexion of your spine. Let's take a little back bend. Bring your hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Push your belly forward. Chest is lifted. Look up to the sky, opening up through the chest. It's a month of love. Think of your heart lifting up to the sky. Squeeze your elbows closer to your spine. Now exhale, move your spine in another motion. Fold forward. Let your arms hang heavy here. Look back to your knees or up towards your belly button. Let your head hang heavy. Shake your head, shake your neck. Put a little bend in your knees if that feels good. It doesn't matter how close your hands are to the ground. You're decompressing your spine, whatever that means for you. Just don't hurt. Nice tip, nice cue to look back to your knees or up towards your belly button to let the crown of the head hang toward the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. Come on up, roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Chin is tucked to your chest until you come up with the chin away from your chest, absolutely last. Put a little bend in your knees, find that little bit of bounce. Just a little bit of bounce moving here. And then start with the arms, doing nice big arm circles toward the back of the room. Bend the knees down when the fingers come down and straighten them up when the fingers come up. Just little movements here, nothing huge. Hi, Betty, I'm glad you're here. Stan, Nancy, Liz, Tammy, Kelly, Rena, Tim, Steve, Cannell, I'm glad you guys are here. All right, so how does it feel in your arms? Doesn't feel good for everybody, so maybe your arm circles are a little bit smaller. Breathe. You know what? When you brush your teeth, incorporate your yoga into your life off the bat. When you brush your teeth, do these knee bends. Work on them. Take your arm circles in the other direction. Maybe the bend in the knees, you can take it a little bit lower this time. Breathe. Just move. You don't have to move a whole lot. Just move. All right, come on up to standing. Remember those cross-body movements we've been incorporating recently? Cross-body movements are good for your brain. Imagine you're picking apples. Legs a little wider than hip width distance. Cross the body with the arm. Reach high like you're picking an apple. And then let the heel of the foot to the arm that's lifting, does that make sense? Let it come up off the earth a little bit. Really strive, really reach for that apple. Feel that big stretch in your side body. Cross body movements are so good for us, especially as we get a little bit older. So keep reaching. Reach, reach. Don't make it passive. Reach nice and hard and strong. You know, never regret your mistakes. Admire the courage that it took to try. Put a positive spin on it, right? All right, how are you doing? Let's finish up with the apple picking. Come back to a standing position. Let's do our big coat swing. All right, arms are down by your side. Let your shoulders relax. I did a lot of apple picking. Now it's time for them to relax. So just kind of alternate between stressing it, a good stress, and relaxing. Big coat swing. Start to twist in the waist. Arms are hanging heavy down by your sides, and look over one shoulder, then the other. Nice controlled twist. I think this movement is really, really important, because how many times have you heard people say, oh, I tweaked my back doing this or that? This will help strengthen the muscles in your low back and just puts you in control. Breathe. So you're tapping your backside, tapping your hip. Maybe take the twist a little deeper. Remember to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And let's finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. It's time for ragdoll pose. All right, for your ragdoll pose, hinge forward. We did this earlier. Hinge forward. Let your arms hang like a ragdoll. shake them out. Look to your ankles, to your knees, or up towards your belly button. Little bend in your knees might feel fine. All right, take your hands, reach for opposite elbow creases, toe heel your feet, hip width distance apart so you feel more stable. Big breath in, big breath out. Let the elbow come back toward the knee, then the other elbow toward the other knee. So just kind of hanging out here like a rag doll. And let the movement be very fluid and easy. Little bend in your knees might feel great. Low back is feeling good here. And here's the little tip off your mat as you sit. Sit. We all sit way too much in the course of our day. After you've been sitting for a while, stand up and do your ragdoll to stretch out your low back, to decompress your spine. You'll feel really, really good for it. All right, let's finish up here. Come back to the midline. Just hang out here for a second or two. Readjust your gaze back up towards your belly button. Big breath in. Big breath out. Release your hands to your mat. Let's come into a child's pose. Our body is warmed up. Let's get into our heads a little bit. All right, or get out of our heads a little bit. This is where you just let everything go. Let the outside world go. So you're on your knees. Let's come into child's pose. Knees can be together, big toes can be touching, hips back toward your heels. They don't have to touch your heels. Arms can be down by your sides. Here's an opportunity to use your first block. You can place your block on your mat and rest your head on it. Arms are down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Classic child's pose. Let the outside world go. Turn off your noisy brain and just focus inward. I'll tell you how to use your breath in just a second to do that. But here's a variation of the pose. It's called a wide-legged child's pose. All you would do is spread your knees wide, big toes are still touching, hips back to your heels. You can rest your forehead on your block and reach your arms to the top of the mat. If you don't want to use the block, you can just bring your forehead down to your mat in either position, classic child's pose or wide-legged child's pose. Just let this be a position of surrender. Surrender to yourself. Your spine is long, tailbone going to the back of the room, crown of the head to the front of the room. Deep breath in through your nose, big sighing breath out through your mouth. And here's how you can use your breathing to focus a little more inward. Close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose only. Embrace that deep breath that you can hear inside your body. Big breath in, big breath out. You can keep the lips closed and continue this Ujjayi pranayama breathing, or, breathe any way that seems right for you. But just take deep breaths. As you're in this child's pose, imagine the breath coming out the backs of your lungs. And as you exhale, really send your tailbone back towards your heels. Breathe. Maybe you want to stay in this pose longer. That's what this yoga from home is all about. You do the poses that feel best for you today. You know what you need better than anybody. You're your own coach. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, I'm going to come out of this child's pose, sliding my arms so they're under my shoulders. I'm going to press on up to standing on my knees, and then I'm going to take the block. I'm going to take this block, I'm going to tuck my toes towards my shins, and I'm going to sit on the block. This is called your toes pose position. All right. In your toes pose, settle in here. Sit back onto your heels. If you don't have a block, that's fine too. You can sit back on your heels. The trick is you've got your toes bent up towards your shins. So you're working on the fascia in your feet and just kind of softening here. If it is painful, don't do it. Come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, hang with it. You can do it. Let's work on our arms to kind of get our mind off of our toes. All right, arms forward, parallel to each other like the number 11, palms face up. Take your right hand and pull all 4 left fingers back. So the upper part of your forearm is up toward the sky, and you're pulling all 4 fingers back. Big breath in and big breath out. You know, there's no such thing as a perfect yoga session. We call it a yoga practice. We don't call it a yoga perfect. It's just practice. You work at it and every day it's a little different. All right, let's pull the thumb back too. Pull the thumb back. Breathe. Focus on your breath. Focus on you. How often do you focus on just you? Not very often. You're focused on others. All right, other hand. I'm going to have my right hand forward. I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to pull my 4 fingers on my right hand back, back, back toward my elbow, feeling and enjoying that nice, good stretch in my forearm. Soften in the shoulders. Breathe here. Maybe bring the fingers back a wee bit more. Don't forget the thumb. Pull it back too. Breathe. All right, let's finish up. Release the fingers, kind of give them a wiggle. Remove the block if you used it. Come to a neutral tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch the toes. Circle the ankles in both directions. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Little bit of a counter pose. Have your tops of your feet on your mat. Sit back onto your heels again and stretch your ankles in the opposite direction. You could incorporate your blocks by pressing into them and letting your knees pop up as you come onto the tops of your feet. You don't have to use the blocks. You could place your hands down as a kickstand and let your knees come up. You could also challenge your balance a little bit here by bringing your hands to prayer center, softening in the shoulders and breathing here. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, there's your little ankle stretch for today. All right, let's come into a cat-cow position. Back to that neutral tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. Cat-cow, fun pose, great for your spine. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky like a Halloween cat and push into your hands. Oh, and press into your feet too. Push your feet, push your hands into the mat. Cat back is arched like a cat. Opposite pose, the counter pose is cow pose. As you exhale, crown of your head lifts to the sky and your tailbone lifts to the sky too. So do some cat-cows, spine in the shape of the letter C, and then exhale, flip that C so it's backwards. So you're moving your neck, giving a nice tuck to the chin on cat, and extending the crown of the head up to the sky for cow. So move your spine and breathe through this. This is a really important pose to marry your breath to. Exhale, navel to the spine for cat, arched up to the sky. Inhale, cow, really move that tailbone. So there's your cat-cow pose. Let's make it a little more fun, shall we? Let's do cat pulling its tail. All right, neutral tabletop, spine is long. Lift your right leg up, knee to about hip height. Maybe this is where you stay today. Circle your ankle a little bit because you can. Push hard into the earth. Your right foot is lifted. You can keep it right here, or maybe you take your left hand, and this is where you're going to pull your tail, because think of your foot as your tail. Reach the left arm around, capture the right foot, kick into the hand, push into the earth with your foundational limbs. Maybe look to the left side of your mat, maybe look to the left side of your room, or maybe look over your left shoulder. Breathe. Getting more challenging, isn't it? But you take it to the layers that work for you today. Hand comes down, knee comes down. We have another side to do. Push into the earth, left knee lifts. Maybe you just hang out here, circle the ankle, maybe kick yourself in the bottom a little bit, and just hang out here. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe you take your right hand, reach around and capture your left foot. Kick into your hand, open up through your right collarbone, looking down to your left thumb. Maybe look to the right side of your mat. Maybe look over your right shoulder. Kick. Breathe. And then finish. Knee comes down, hand comes down, even it out with a cat-cow again. Tuck your chin to your chest, cat pose. Inhale, cow, cat. Cat pose, then cow pose. Oh, I'll get them confused. All right. Press into the earth, neutral tabletop position. Bird dog pose. This is a little more challenging. This will improve your balance. All right, let's start with the right leg. Lift it up, knee to hip height. This time extend the right leg long. Drive the heel to the back of the mat and the toes are drawn towards your shin. Check out your hips. Draw the right hip down so both hips are equal distant to the mat. Press your heel to the back of the room. Hold it right here. Feel the strengthening in your low back. Push hard into the earth, and if you like, take the opposite arm, the left arm, and reach it forward. Fingers spread wide, thumb up to the sky. Push hard into the earth. Lengthen through your heel and the crown of your head. You've got it. Hold it. If you want, let's add a variation. Bend your right knee and your left elbow. Have them touch under the navel, and then extend. A few more of those if you like them. If you don't like them, don't do them. After a few of those, hand plants, knee plants, back to a neutral tabletop. Readjust, wiggle, find where you're comfortable. We have another side to do. Lift your left knee up. Knee to about hip height. Extend through the left leg, strengthening your backside. Heel drives to the back of the room. Left hip dials down. I always have to remember to do that. Press into the earth. Drive through that long left leg. Add in the right arm if you like. Stretch it, reach it, fingers reaching to the front of the room. Push into the earth. You're strong. Hold it here. Maybe for fun, elbow to knee. And then reach and stretch. You do exactly what you want to do. Maybe the elbow and knee don't quite come to meet yet. Keep working at it. Breathe. Just show up on your mat every day and do. All right, neutral tabletop. That's your bird dog pose. Let's go into a wide-legged child's pose. Knees spread wide. You can spread them so wide they come off your mat if that feels good. Or you're on your mat. You could turn 90 degrees to keep your knees nice and padded. I'm going to go back to the way I was because of the camera, but spread your knees good and wide. You can keep that padding underneath your knees. Hinge forward into your arms. So we're going to do some frog push-ups. Now, usually in most of our days in our practices, hinge forward so your shoulders are over your wrists and really kind of feel the weight going into your arms. We usually do a 1-minute plank. Today, we're going to do 1 minute's worth of frog push-ups. All right, so you take the variation of plank that you like. I'm going to do these for something for a little bit different. I'm going to kind of gecko my fingers into the mat, hinging my weight forward. Let's start a 1-minute timer now. Now the timer is here for you just to, take little time hacks if you want. I'm going to bend my elbows, hugging them in close to my ribs, and then press on back up. Do as many of these as you like. And take breaks. Rest. Maybe you rest, pushing into the earth. Maybe you sink your hips back a little bit more and take a break in a child's pose with the arms extended. Maybe you're really going at it, and I know you are, Liz. All right, and Lynette, you too. All right, press on down, lift. Little frog push-ups. Chin touches toward the earth. Push the earth away. Take the little breaks when you need. We're over halfway there. We've gone 40 seconds already. Breaks as you need. Nobody's judging you. Just try. 15 seconds to go. You can do it. I don't know, maybe you're counting how many you're doing. Maybe you're just taking your little breaks and just enjoying the moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are done. How did you do? All right, sit your hips back towards your heels. Reach your arms long to the top of the room. Forehead down toward the mat. Breathe. Wide-legged child's pose. Breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's finish. Come on up and have a seat on your bottom. Maybe grab a drink and have your strap close by. Remember, it can be a jump rope. You got one of those lying around, right? Maybe it's a jump rope or a belt to your robe or a dog leash. It all works. All right, so I'm gonna have a drink. We're gonna do our usual little core sequence with a few little fun different things added in. All right, Soles of the feet touch, knees open wide, hands in prayer. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and then come on back. Come on back to fully reclined, but take it slowly because why? You are in control. You own it. Your practice, you own it. All right, maybe hike your heels up a little bit closer to your groin or not. Maybe that doesn't feel so great. Maybe you have your heels further away. Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. You know these. We do these a lot. Bend your elbows, fingers lightly to your temples. When you're ready, let your chin on an exhale go up to the sky. So exhale and come on down. Exhale up. Inhale down. You exhale on the up because you're hollowing out your belly, keeping your elbows and your knees open wide. Little lifts, little lowers. You've got it. Maybe you would like to lift out of the shoulders, fingers at your temples, and just pulse up, up, up toward the sky. The pulsing in poses is something we do a lot on Fridays when we do our bar movements incorporated into our Yoga Plus. We do bar, we do weights, we do Pilates, mat Pilates, as well as our yoga. Breathe. Pulses are a big part of your bar practice. Oh, and you can see why. They are so effective, aren't they? All right, let's finish. Come on down. Shoulders come down. Let's do a Pilates move with a single knee pull in. So, legs are long on your mat to begin. Let's take a stick pose just to even everything out. Arms lift, reach to the top of your mat, toes point to the bottom of your mat. You look like a big number one, and you are number one. Yes, you are. All right, bend your right knee. Interlaced fingers, hug the right knee in, and then extend the right leg long. Then do it on the left side. If you want, peel up your shoulders. Keep the leg that's extended lifted and alternate. Kind of like bicycle a little bit, isn't it? But you're pulling the knees in. In, in, in. Breathe. You got it. You can do it. Maybe take little breaks here and there by just coming down to your mat. Maybe your shoulders stay down on your mat. All right, let's come down all the way to our mat. Remember, stick pose. Do it again. Stretch it out. Big number one. Now, keeping the legs straight, lift the right leg up to the sky. Take your hands, capture your calf, and pull the leg. Straightened leg, pull it. Release the right leg. Bring the left leg up. Pull it closer to your chest. Maybe peel your shoulders up. Alternate with the legs. Nice and straight. Hugging one in, then the other. Breathe. You got this. Big hip, big joints in the body, the hips. They're loving it. You really want to keep your hips mobile for all that movement you do, for walking, right? Got to keep the hips strong and mobile. All right, let's finish up. Stick pose. Capital letter I. You're an expert on this one. Breathe. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, both knees. Drag your heels up like they're dragging through mud. Hug both knees in. Right hand under right knee. Left hand under right. Left. Right hand under right knee. Left hand under left knee. And then extend and pull them in. Extend. Pull them in. Maybe peel your shoulders up. Extend. Pull them in. Extend, pull them in, breathe. You got this. Strong core. We all need a strong core, right? It's not just about flat abs. It's about being strong in your entire body. All right, maybe this time press on up and come into your boat pose. All right, hands can be behind your knees. Legs can be long. Shoulders back and down. Breathe. Hold it here. You can release your hands. You can grab your strap. That's one of the reasons why we have the strap today. Take your strap. There's always a way to do it. Just don't give up. Legs go long. Sit back like you're in a recliner. Hug the elbows in. Hold on here in this variation of your boat pose. No problem to use the strap. Just do, right? All right. Breathe. And if you're using the strap, maybe drop the strap Hands behind your knees, that helps. Lift through your chest. Breathe and hold here. You can do it. Put a little bend in your knees. Nothing wrong with that. Find your balance like you're in a recliner and have fun with it. All right, bring your feet on down. Maybe crisscross at the ankles. Let's press on up and come into a downward facing dog. Hands plant, and you come into a down dog. What is that? All right, down dog. Your body looks like an inverted V. Soles of your feet are on your mat. Heels slightly lifted. Hands are pressed into the mat. Press into the earth. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Feet are hip width distance apart. Heels slightly elevated. Look back towards your elbows, or not to your elbows. Look back towards your knees, the elbows of your legs, right? Look back to your knees or up towards your belly button. Pedal it out. One foot comes closer to the earth than the other. Really stretch out the backs of the calves by bringing one heel closer to the earth than the other. Shake your neck. Be nice and loose in your downward facing dog. We'll do lots of these tomorrow in our practice. Decompress the spine. Shake the neck. Let it, shake the head. Let the neck be loose. Breathe. Finish up. Still your feet. Hold it here. Tailbone high to the sky. Push harder into your hands. You've got it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your hands to meet your feet or your feet up to meet your hands. Take an inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Breathe. Exhale, fold forward, look back to your knees. Inhale, arms sweep up, come up to a standing position. In your standing position, let's do tree. All right, remember I said we'd do some balancing? We do balancing a lot. No problem having a chair or a counter nearby. Root into your feet, tree pose. It's also called Vrikasana. Such a great balancing pose. You could do this when you brush your teeth too. All right, hands to prayer center to begin. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, let it go. I'm gonna put my weight into my left foot, take the weight out of my right. I'm gonna open up my right knee to the side of the room, and I'm gonna come up onto the balls of the right foot. And then you can have the heel rest on the inner left leg, on the ankle, or maybe slide it up a little bit higher, or even higher still. Maybe you bring the foot up into the thigh. You don't want to rest the foot onto the knee, however, because the knees aren't meant to bend sideways. All right, hips are equidistant to the front of the room. Hands can be at prayer center or hold on to that countertop. Nothing wrong with that. Root solidly into your foundational foot. Grow your branches if you like. That's an added challenge. So you can sway your arms, either intentionally or unintentionally. Sway them. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Breathe. Push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. That is your tree pose. Hands back to a prayer center position. Find your balance. Embrace those little micro wiggles in your foot. It's going to wiggle like crazy. That's normal. Breathe. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the right foot next to the left. You did it. Another opportunity to excel on the other side. Root into the opposite leg. I'm going to root into my right leg. Open up the left leg. Hands to prayer center. I can stay right here. Maybe today's challenge, and this is a challenge, to just close the eyes and stay right here. I'm going to slip my left foot up, and I'm going to bring it past my knee. I'm going to skip over that, pressing the left foot into the inner right thigh. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. It helps. Focus forward, focus up, soften in the shoulders, root into the strong foot. Think of your hips lengthening. Think of the crown of the head lengthening up to the sky. You're in a strong tree position. If you want, challenge your balance, raise your arms, and sway them back and forth. You know, you've got to be in the present moment for this. For your balance, you got it. You can't be thinking about this or that or worrying. You're in the present moment, a good place to be. Find your balance and then finish. Hands slowly back to prayer center. Look at you, you're doing it. Bring your left knee forward. Plant the left foot next to the right. Nice job. Let's do you will look taller. A great pose to strengthen your upper back and to just feel a better posture. All right, so to begin with, think of the first letter of each word. You will look taller. Bring your arms into the letter Y shape, pressing the backs of your hands to the back of the room. If this doesn't feel good in your shoulders, modify. How could you modify? You could kind of cactus your arms. You could put a little bend in the elbows. Just try. Press the backs of the hands to the back of the room. Breathe. Here's your big letter Y. Now bring your elbows down to the shape of a letter W. So your arms are in a W. There's the W for the word will. You will. It will happen if you stick with it. You will. 2 L's. Forearms parallel to the earth, elbows hugged in towards your waist. 2 L's, a forward one and a backward one. L for look. Feel your chest open up to the front of the room. And now tee out your arms, pulse your hands to the back of the room. There's your T for taller. Let's do it again. You will look taller, and pulse. All right, so now you know the moves. Focus now on the feeling. Feel the strength up and down your spine. Let's do you will look, T for taller, pulse. One more time, just because it's fun. 3 times is charm, then 4 times is just, the icing on the cake. Big letter Y for you. Will look. T for taller, pulse them back, and then finish. Let your arms hang down by your sides. Close your eyes. Just feel how nice and tall you feel. Feel the good posture. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, blink your eyes open. A few months back, we did a challenge. It's the sock challenge. All right, with this pose. Here we go. Let's begin. All right, maybe keep your hands on your hips, or you got your hands on a chair. Bend your knees. All right, with the knees bent, you're in a chair pose. In your chair pose, your knees are bent. Weight back a little bit into your heels. Breathe here in this chair pose. You can add the arms in and reach forward. Hold on here. Maybe sit more weight back into your heels. Keep your gaze forward. You don't want to be looking down. Look forward. Look up. Look forward. Now bring your hands to prayer center. Or remember, you can have your counter or your chair. That's always good. All right, the sock challenge. What we did was balancing on one foot and putting your socks on. Now that's living your yoga off your mat. All right, let's weigh into our left foot. Lift your right leg up. Maybe take your right leg, the outside of the right ankle, put it on top of your left thigh. So your legs are in like a figure 4. Sit down nice and low, and here is where you would do your sock thing. You would take your sock, put your sock on your foot, and there's your sock challenge. Balance. All right, so what's happening here? I'm gonna sink my weight a little bit lower into my left bent knee, sinking my bottom down toward the earth and focusing here. So you're stretching out your backside, those big glute muscles. All right, so here, nice to have a chair nearby for balance. You can stay right here, or you can take this to a humble warrior. That would be taking your hands, interlacing your fingers behind your low back, and then sending your interlaced fingers up your back wall. Look down to your mat, look down to your left toes, maybe look to your left knee. Sending your interlaced fingers up toward the sky and finding your balance here. Oh, you talk about micro wiggles in that standing foot. Body's amazing, isn't it? Hands back to prayer center. Know that you are in control here. Plant the right foot down. Let's do it all again. Come on back up to standing and take that extended mountain pose. Arms lift. Take a baby back bend. Arms back to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Come back to your chair pose with the bent knees. Maybe you hang out right here and stay right here. It's all good. Breathe. Shift the weight a little more back into your toes, into your heels. That's what I mean to say, into your heels. Send your arms forward. Sink a little bit lower. Your arms are a counterbalance here. It's excellent. Life is good. Your body's a miracle. Hold on. Maybe the weight now into your right foot, left leg lifts, outside of the left ankle, onto the right thigh. Sink low and hold here. Chair. Don't feel bad about using it. It's all good. Sink low, hold here, stay right here. You know how this feels. Maybe take it a little deeper, put a greater bend in the knee. Maybe challenge your balance by taking your hands, interlacing your fingers behind your low back. Look down to your mat. Let those interlaced fingers go up the back wall. Look to your foot, look to your ankle, look to your knee. Breathe, arms go high. You sink low. Release your hands back to prayer center. You're in control. You come out of this when you want to. No big deal. Left foot meets right. Come on up to standing. Arms go high. Extended mountain. Take a little baby back bend. Fingers go back to the sky. Arms come up high to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward. Fingers toward the earth. Little bend in your knees. How does this feel different than the first one you did? Whoo! Shake your neck. Come on down. Fingers to your mat. Put a bend in your knees. Come on down. Find your 2 blocks for a lunge. With your 2 blocks by your side, come on up to standing on your knees. Right foot comes forward. Right knee over right ankle. Send your left leg long by pressing into the blocks. Left knee is on your mat, or put a towel underneath it if that feels better. Top of the left foot is on your mat. Feel that nice big stretch in your left hip. Maybe press your fingers up into the blocks. Shoulders over your hips, perhaps. Maybe this is right where you stay. Maybe arms lift up and you take a baby back bend here. Maybe arms come back down to your blocks and that's where you stay. Maybe you bring your hands to prayer center. All these maybes make it work for you. Straighten the right leg and begin to surf. Right leg comes back, then right leg, rebend it again. You can have your hands on your blocks and use them for balance as you move back and forth. No blocks, hands to prayer center, challenge your core. Maybe you sink your hips back and you come back to sit on your left heel. You don't have to come all the way back. Every day is different. Everybody's body is different. Do what is speaking to you today. And know that you are a success. Don't even entertain those negative thoughts of I can't. Oh, I'll never. Banish those from your vocabulary. Just keep at it and good things will happen. All right, let's finish with that leg. Now you come back to standing on both knees. Reintroduce your blocks. Left leg forward, ankle over, or knee over ankle. Press into your blocks. Right leg long and straight. Oh, you feel that in the front of your hip. Let it be. Staying right here is fine. Maybe shoulders over hips. Maybe arms lift up. Maybe that baby back bend. Maybe hands to prayer center, or maybe to the blocks. Start to straighten the left leg and then rebend it. Use your blocks to bring the ground up to you. Or if you're feeling sassy, no blocks at all. And bring your hips back to your heel. Core lifts you up and rebend that left knee. Have fun, whatever you're doing. Don't hurt yourself and just try. Just try. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and be happy. All right. Even out, that's about even, right? All right. We'll finish. Come back to kneeling on both knees. Let's do our baby camel pose. Put your block between your ankles, hands to your low back. Push your belly forward. Elbows squeeze toward your spine. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look overhead. Push your hips forward. Imagine your chest lifting up to the sky. This is far enough for today. Tomorrow, we'll do a full camel if you'd like. All right, shoulders over your hips. Remove your blocks and find your strap and your eye shade and your little towel if you want to use it. Eye shade and towel to the top of your mat. Strap by your hips. Come onto your bottom. Let's do bridge pose. Bend your knees, hands to prayer center, and really deliberately take your time going down. Maybe even hold it for a moment or two as you are in control of your strong core. Maybe lean back a little bit more. Chest is lifted. Breathe. Hang on, hold on, come back a little bit more. Hold on, hang on. And then when you're ready, with control, all the way down. All the way down. You've got your strap nearby, but just for a second, let's do bridge pose. Soles of your feet are on your mat, heels up towards your bottom. Arms down by your sides. Breathe. Push into your feet. Push the weight into your feet. Lift up through the hips. When your hips get up to a certain height, you just kind of want to wiggle your shoulders closer to your back. You feel like the bridge lifts another 10 feet up into the sky. All right, push your hands into the mat. Lift. Hold here. Feel that nice stretch in the front of your hips. Squeeze and lift. Finish up. Slowly bring your spine down one vertebra at a time. Keep your navel tucked to your spine, and then bring your tailbone down last. All right, nice job. Okay, so let's take this strap. Take the strap, take the center of the strap, and bring it under the centers of your feet. Send your legs on up to the sky. This just feels good to have the strap sometimes. Pull the strap like reins of a horse, bringing your toes up nice and close to whatever feels good. Maybe a bend in your knees feels good. Just play with this for a little bit. It's your yoga. You do it your way. I'm just here to coach you and encourage you and just show you some different things to do. All right, let's start with let's bring the right leg down. Bring the right leg down so it's on your mat, nice and straight. Draw the toes toward the shin so your legs look like a letter L. So the strap is still on this left foot. Let's open up the left foot to the left side of the body. Bring it on up to the sky, and then let the left foot fall to the right side of the body as you roll onto the right hip. So you're creating a nice rainbow arc over your body with this extended left leg. I don't want to hit Piper. All right, just lift and extend. Find what feels good for you. You don't have to bring it all the way to the ground. Just move it a little bit, maybe. Maybe that's something you haven't done in a long time. But the beauty of our bodies is that the more we do this, I won't say the easier it gets. I'll say you get stronger and you can do more. So just stick with it. That's the real challenge, sticking with it. All right. Bring the left foot back up to the sky. Bring the right foot up to meet it in the strap. So we're in that starting position. Just kind of even out. Give them a little tug. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Right leg is lifted. Left foot comes down. Toes drawn toward the shins. Hold on to that strap. Legs look like a letter L. All right, begin. Let the right leg open up to the right side of the body, bringing the pinky toe toward the earth. Doesn't have to touch. Bring it on up. Roll onto the left hip, letting the big toe side come down toward the earth, keeping your shoulders down, and just moving that half circle shape over your body. Breathe. Let it feel awesome. And when you're ready, let's finish up. Right leg comes up, left leg comes up to meet it. Readjust your strap, hug the elbows in, and just enjoy having the legs up to the sky here for a moment. Bend the knees a little if you want. You can move a little bit from side to side. Feels nice in your low back. Breathe. All right, when you're ready, release the strap. Let both legs come back down. Let's do bridge again. Soles of the feet on your mat, arms down by your sides. Press into your feet, lift your hips on up. Breathe. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Tailbone comes down last. Roll over onto your stomach. Onto your stomach, let's do a brief Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath your shoulders, hands spread wide, legs long on your mat. Don't worry about how close they are or how far apart, just what feels good. Gaze down your nose, push into your hands, so you kind of look like a Sphinx here. So nice compression of the low back, big breath in, big breath out. Let's take it to a cobra pose. All right, you could stay right here in your Sphinx, fine place to stay, or you can bring your chest on down. Slip your hands down about 8 inches so they are underneath your collarbones. Nose is touching the mat, elbows are hugged in. This time, bring your legs together, big toes touching, pressing the tops of your feet into your mat. So think of how a cobra looks. Your legs are the nice long tail. The fan of the cobra is like your arms. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. On the next inhale, raise your head up, gaze down your nose, push the tops of your feet into your mat. This is hard. And then maybe push little weight into your hands. Maybe push just the weight into your fingertips. Ooh, compression of the low back. It is getting strong. Maybe lift your hands up, no weight in your hands. Elbows squeeze towards your spine. Maybe lift a little higher. Maybe let the elbows work toward the heels. Breathe. You got it. Oh my goodness. Hands come down. Press into straightened arms. This is a seal pose. In your seal pose, arms are straightened as best you can. Soften in your glutes. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, when you're ready, come on back down onto your belly. Roll over onto your back one more time for happy baby. In your happy baby pose, bend your left knee and capture it with your left hand. Take your right knee, capture it with your right hand, and just rock from side to side. Maybe with your knees, think of drawing circles on the ceiling, either big circles or small circles. Just move around. Move around with the knees, and let this feel good in your low back. For the fullest expression of your happy baby pose, plug your tailbone into your mat. Take your hands, capture inside your calves, or capture your heels. Shoulders come back down. Lift one leg up to the sky, then perhaps the other. Whew. This one's hard to do the first time. But then once you start bending one knee and straightening the other, your frog-like hips really begin to like it. And you got this. We did our frog push-ups. We are doing happy baby. It's another great pose for the hips where you feel and look like a frog. It's all good. You want that mobility. All right. Finish up. Heels go high to the sky. Using your hands, press your inner thighs open so you open up your legs into the shape of a letter V. V for victory. You can do this. Open them up. Breathe. And then finish. Release your hands, knees meet at the midline, bend your knees, send your legs long onto your mat. Find that eye shade that we brought, or your little towel. Cover your eyes. It makes a big difference when you cover your eyes, further blocking out the outside world. Take a big breath in, and a big breath out, sigh it out. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Legs are a little spread, so your heels are, I guess, at the edges of your mat, and your pinky toes fall toward the mat. Kind of wiggle a little bit. There's no yoga police. You just get comfortable here for you. Breathe any way you like. Let any residual tension go. You've got this. You did it. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Try to keep the thoughts at bay for just a little bit longer as you just focus on the beauty of the depth of your breath. Your body is heavy. Your eyebrows are soft. Your ears are soft. Your cheeks are soft. Your shoulders are on the earth, heavy and away from your ears. And your breath is strong, but it's also light. Breathe in, breathe out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Stay here longer if you like. If it's time for you to conclude your hour, take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Then move that motion up into your feet and your hands. Then your wrists and your ankles. Circle them out. That feels good. On an inhale, reach high up overhead and take a big good morning stretch. As if this were the first stretch of the morning before you even get out of bed. Really stretch it out. And when you're ready to take an exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows, and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Top shoulder is soft. Eyes are closed. Savor this moment that'll never come again with a deep cycle of breath. And then your choice. Maybe keep your eyes closed or gently blink them open. And it's your choice again. Maybe press on up to come to a seated position, or don't press up at all. Use your core to lift you up. Just make those conscious decisions. Eyes closed, legs crossed, or whatever feels right for you. Bring your hands to prayer center to just have a moment of gratitude and just appreciation of what you did. You know, we forgave ourselves. We forgive ourselves for perhaps neglecting our bodies. Now it's time to be thankful for what you did. Hands at prayer center, pushing your palms and fingers into each other, feeling the warmth of your body. Lengthen up through the crown of your head as you take a big inhale. And as you take a big sighing exhale, soften in your shoulders. And just appreciate rooting into the earth beneath you. All right. Gently blink your eyes open if they aren't open already. You did it. You did it. You are in control. You own the day. You own your body. You control your body. Just don't bash yourself. Get rid of the negative self-talk. Be happy, be healthy, and stay strong. And focus on these things, the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Focus on those things. Focus on the things that are good. And see you back here tomorrow. Bye, guys. Love you. Stress number. What was it? What is it? There's your measure. It's working. Bye. See you tomorrow. Hey, you. Hi. You're a good girl.